Right, soap fans, brace yourselves, because next week on the cobbles is looking absolutely packed. Secrets bubbling to the surface, families on edge. Old flames causing chaos and heartbreak that could change lives forever. Honestly, I don't know how they've managed to fit all of this into just 1 week. From Abby's world crashing down around her, to Asha hitting a frightening low, and Tim being forced to face something from his past he's kept hidden for years. It's going to be emotional, messy, and very dramatic. So, let's get straight into it. Here are 11 big Coronation Street spoilers for the week of 6th to 10th October, and trust me, each one is massive. 1. Debbie issues Abby a tough ultimatum. We start with Abby, because let's face it, trouble just seems to follow her wherever she goes. Next week, she's caught in a really awkward situation at Ronnie's birthday party. Imagine this. Carl, who's been sneaking around with Abby, ends up sitting between her and James. It's tense, it's uncomfortable, and of course, Debbie is right there watching. Debbie's sharp eyes notice more than she should, and she wastes no time letting Abby know she's onto her. Debbie's not one for subtlety. She lays down an ultimatum and basically tells Abby it's time to end this secret fling before things explode. The question is, will Abby actually listen? We've seen her ignore warnings before, and it never ends well. This could be the start of something really messy. 2. Abby's text disaster. As if that wasn't enough, Abby makes a mistake that could ruin everything. Debbie quietly hints to Kevin that maybe he should lawyer up. She clearly doesn't trust Abby anymore. Abby overhears this conversation and, in a panic, sends a text meant for Carl. But here's the kicker. She accidentally sends it to Kevin instead. Can you imagine his face when that pops up on his phone? Carl promises Abby he'll try to grab Kevin's phone before he reads it, but honestly, when has sneaking around with texts ever ended well in soaps? This could be game over before Abby even has a chance to explain herself. 3. Kevin shows Abby the door. And if you thought that was bad, it gets even worse. After all the drama at Ronnie's party, Kevin finally reaches breaking point. He tells Abby she's out, hands back the key, and that's that. Later, Bernie steps in with the brutal news. She's seen Kevin tossing Abby's belongings out onto the street. Just imagine Abby standing there, watching everything she owns being dumped like rubbish. It's humiliating, and you can really feel the weight of her past mistakes catching up with her. For a character who's fought so hard to rebuild her life, this is crushing. But will it be the thing that finally makes her change, or is it too late? 4. Tim bumps into an old flame. Shifting gears now, let's talk about Tim. Out of nowhere, his latest cab fare turns out to be someone from his past, Trisha Pinkerton. Fans might remember Tim doesn't often talk about his younger years, but this woman clearly sparks some old memories. It doesn't stop there. Trisha shows up again later at the Rovers, where the lads are having a drink for Kevin's birthday. Tyrone and Steve are laughing, teasing Tim about this unexpected blast from the past. But Kevin's not laughing. He looks worried, especially about what this could mean for Sally. And honestly, so am I. Whenever old flames come back, it's rarely harmless. 5. Brian hears the shocking truth. Trisha doesn't disappear quietly. She pops up at the cab office, catching Tim once again. And Sally just happens to arrive. You can guess her reaction? Straight away, she makes sure this woman knows she's Tim's wife. But then Sally's anger boils over when she finds out Tim missed their anniversary meal for this. Later, Tim finally admits to Brian the truth. He tells him he was only 14 when he first got involved with Trisha, and she was nearly 20. Brian's face says it all. It's shocking, disturbing, and something that can't just be brushed under the carpet. This is a heavy storyline, and you can see how much it's going to shake Tim to the core. 6. Brian refuses to stay quiet. When Brian next crosses paths with Trisha, he can't hold back. He straight up accuses her of grooming Tim. It's raw, it's blunt, and it clearly rattles both of them. Tim rushes in to defend Trisha, but Brian won't back down. He tells Tim to face the truth about what really happened all those years ago. Then comes the bombshell moment with Sally. She asks Tim what's going on, and he admits it outright. He lost his virginity to Trisha when he was just 14, and she was 20. The look on Sally's face, it's going to break her heart. And honestly, viewers might find this storyline really tough to watch. It's brave of the show to tackle something so serious, but it's bound to get people talking. 7. Asha's devastating collapse over to Asha now, and this is heartbreaking. She's seen drinking heavily, spiraling, and before long, she's found unconscious at Victoria Gardens. What makes it even worse is that paramedics discover drugs on her. Her loved ones are left terrified, fearing the worst, that she might have tried to end her own life. Dev and Bernie rush to the hospital, clinging to hope while waiting for news. It's a gut-wrenching scene. Fans who've followed Asha's journey will know she's battled with self-esteem and struggled with her identity for years. To see her sink this low is devastating, and it raises huge questions about what support she'll need if she pulls through. 8. Theo's unexpected return, and guess who finds Asha collapsed? It's Theo. After disappearing for days, he suddenly reappears, and by sheer chance, he stumbles across her in that awful state. He calls out for help, putting himself in the position of a hero. But Todd's not impressed. He's furious with Theo for vanishing without a word, and he doesn't buy this sudden return. Still, Amy points out something very true. Without Theo, Asha might not have made it at all. This could really shake things up between Todd and Theo, because trust like that isn't easy to repair. 9. Dev's emotions boil over. Meanwhile, Dev is struggling. On one hand, he's terrified for his daughter. On the other, he's angry that Asha could put her family through so much pain. And that's such a real human reaction, isn't it? When someone you love is hurting themselves, you're torn between heartbreak and frustration. Later in the week, Dev goes to see Asha in hospital. But what will he say? Will he give her the love and support she needs, or will his anger get the better of him? This is going to be such a raw father-daughter moment, and it could go either way. By the way, if you're still with me and enjoying these spoilers, make sure you hit subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and you won't miss out on any of the big Corrie news coming up. 10. Todd fears for his health. Todd's keeping something heavy to himself, and it's heartbreaking to watch. He makes out to Theo that he's tied up with work and can't make Noah's funeral, but that's just a cover story. The real reason: he's got a hospital appointment lined up and doctors want to check him for bowel cancer. Straight away you can sense the fear behind his lie. He doesn't want Theo, or anyone else, to see how scared he really is. When Todd finally confides in Billy, it's a proper emotional moment. Billy doesn't hesitate, he just wants to be there for him, no questions asked. And that's the thing with Billy, isn't it? He's always been that steady support when people's worlds are falling apart. It's touching to see Todd let the mask slip for once and allow someone in, because normally he'd rather crack a joke or change the subject than admit he's vulnerable. The storyline feels really grounded in real life too. Plenty of viewers will know what it's like to sit on a worry like that, pretending everything's fine while your mind is running wild. Todd's outward bravado hides how much it's eating away at him, and the show isn't shying away from that. It's brave, it's raw, and it's the kind of story that makes Corrie feel so relatable at times. Of course, the big question now is how long Todd can keep this from Theo. Secrets never stay buried for long on the cobbles, and Theo's already suspicious by nature. If he finds out Todd lied about work to cover a hospital visit, it could cause fireworks in their relationship. And let's be honest, with everything else they've been through lately, this could really kick off more drama. Viewers will definitely have plenty to say about this one. 11. Theo's jealousy strikes again, and just when you think Theo might have redeemed himself, His darker side shows up again. After Todd's appointment, he heads to the pub with Billy to talk things over. He hasn't told Theo yet. He wants to wait for the results before worrying him. But when Theo comes back from the funeral and sees Todd with Billy, his jealousy flares. He hates that they're spending time together, and he's even more rattled when Todd says he's going to dinner with George and Christina. This could be the crack that splits them apart again. Theo's insecurity has always been a problem, and right now, with Todd going through something so serious, it's the last thing he needs. So there you go. 11 massive spoilers from Coronation Street for the week of 6th to 10th October. Abby's love life and living situation could collapse in spectacular fashion. Tim is being forced to face one of the darkest parts of his past. Asha is fighting for her life after a devastating collapse. Todd is quietly fearing cancer. And Theo, well, he's still Theo and his jealousy might blow up again. It's a heavy, emotional week ahead with storylines that touch on betrayal, family, trauma, and love. Exactly the kind of gripping drama Corrie does best. What do you make of all this? Do you think Ivy deserves another chance, or has Kevin finally had enough? Will Sally stand by Tim, or could this be the breaking point? And what about Asha? How do you think Dev will handle it when he finally speaks to her? I'd love to know your thoughts, so drop them in the comments. And if you enjoyed chatting through these spoilers with me, make sure you give the video a like and hit subscribe so you never miss the latest updates from the Cobbles. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.